Hi cuties! I hope you guys are doing so well. Welcome back to a long overdue episode of Nails and Chill. If you're new here, this is a series on my channel where I do my nails and update you guys about things that have been going on in my personal life, chat about things that I feel like talking about. I try not to talk too much about unrelated subjects in my other nail videos. I save all of my life updates and stuff for these episodes, and I've got a lot to update you guys about. I've been kind of dealing with a lot recently, which is one of the reasons why this episode is so long overdue. It's been kind of hard for me to just like sit down and do a set of nails and talk to the camera. You know what just makes things so much worse when the goings get tough? Not being able to find clothes to wear that are comfortable, especially with like my sensory issues. That can be really difficult and just throw my entire day off the rail. But thankfully, that will no longer be a problem for me with today's sponsor, Halara. Halara is a new up-and-coming clothing brand. They're definitely mostly known for their leggings, especially the amazing flare leggings that they have. So when they reached out to me, I was so excited because during the fall and winter, flare leggings are like literally all I live in. These leggings that I have on at the moment are their high-waisted lettuce trim ribbed flare leggings. I really love how these leggings fit. This is a little weird, but I just want to show you they are not see-through. Sorry in advance because I'm about to like put my booty all up in the camera. They've also got like a little secret pocket in the waistband, which you cannot even tell. But like, let's say I'm about to do something like lift some weights at the gym and I've got some rings on that I do not want to be wearing. And just pop them off and boom. So although they are mostly known for their leggings, they do make a lot of other cute clothing. This tank top that I'm wearing is also from Halara. I love the cute little open back design. It is super supportive. It does actually have like an inner layer to it, and it also comes with removable padding. Something that I was also really excited about is their HalaraMagic denim. So let me just pop these on real quick and I'll show you. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces that I got from Halara because it looks like I'm wearing jeans, but it feels like I'm just wearing another super comfy pair of flare bottom leggings. And they've got pockets in the back and in the front, and the waistbands are just so comfortable on all of these leggings. I love them so much. So these are definitely my favorite pair of biker shorts that I own now. These specific biker shorts are their SoCinched high waist tummy control biker shorts. So they're made specifically with like that really high waist to keep your tummy all nice and secure. They've also got pockets. This tank top is also not the only top that I bought. I also bought this super cute periwinkle colored sports bra. So even though most of the clothes that I got are all black because black is just like the only color I wear, a lot of their clothing comes in a super large variety of colors that you can choose from. So for example, this cute sports bra in this like really pretty periwinkle color. And here's what the back looks like. I also got this pair of their super high-waisted booty lifting leggings. So they've got that little scrunch back here to make it look like my booty is nice and sculpted. So I actually got two more pair of flare bottom leggings because like I told you, I'm obsessed with them and they just had too many cute ones to choose from. I was super excited for this pair of leggings because they are made with their specially designed padded off fabric or patty off fabric. This fabric basically repels pet hair. It honestly works with pet hair like a raincoat works with water. You know what? Instead of just telling you, let's go say hi to Dexter, my dog, and I'll show you. Hi Dexter. Hi Dexter. You mind if I just, you mind? Hi Dexter. You want to snuggle? You want to snuggle? Oh no, Dexter, you got your fur all over me. And it's gone. Okay, so this is the last pair of leggings that I want to show you guys, but this pair is made with their Softlyzero fabric. This Softlyzero fabric was designed specifically with comfort in mind. They are so soft and so stretchy, but yet again, not see-through. Personally, it's really important for me for my leggings to be really tight around my waist. I just need to feel super secure. And the fact that this fabric is so stretchy is really amazing because it means that no matter how much I eat throughout the day, I'm not gonna start being suffocated by my leggings. I really love how Halara keeps everybody's needs in mind when innovating new fabrics and creating really cute pieces that will make you feel comfortable and cute at the same time, all while keeping their prices very affordable. Everything that I showed you guys today will be linked down in my description box below this video. Also, don't forget to use the code ANE for 15% off all your regular price purchases with Halara. Thank you so much to Halara for sponsoring this video. Now, without further ado, let's get into the nails and chill, shall we? So here are my nails at the moment. I've got that hard gel layer on there, as well as a couple stickers and little heart glitter sequins just to keep my nails looking cute between sets. So the first thing I need to do is file off the top coat I have on there and the glitter sequins and any stickers. So I'm just gonna use this sanding band to do so. So the first thing that I'm gonna get into talking about, which is also like the biggest thing that's been taking up so much of my time and energy, and I also touched on this a little bit in my most recent vlog where I introduced you guys to my new kittens. But yeah, that has been dealing with my doctors and trying to find the right medication and treatment for my ADHD. I was diagnosed with combined type ADHD when I was 19, and it's definitely been a journey that I am still currently in the midst of trying to find the right treatment and medication for me. So what's been happening recently is I was seeing a psychiatrist, been seeing him since before I got my ADHD diagnosis, and when I asked him if ADHD was something that we could look into, because I did my research on it and I felt like it was something that I was struggling with, he dismissed me because I get good grades and he knows me as a person who is like an ambitious person. So he was like, nah, like I don't think that's it. I think it's probably just like misophonia and anxiety and depression. So that's what he was treating me for, was anxiety and depression. I just really felt like the medications that he had me on and what he was treating me for was just not completely correct. And I could just tell based on like the thoughts that I was having, which are like not thoughts that you want to be having, if you know what I'm saying, that the medication was just like not working the way that it should be, or you know, it was just time for me to switch to something new, a new approach. So I tried to tell him and he kind of dismissed me, but he told me he would consider it if I went to my psychologist and got my records and my like test records and results and everything from her, from like the 4-hour tests that I took with her to be diagnosed with ADHD, because I was like convinced that there was something going on. I didn't actually realize that he didn't have my results because, like, look guys, I just turned 21, okay? Like, I am used to depending on my parents for things. Like, I'm not used to working with the medical system and stuff, which is probably why this whole process was a lot more stressful than it could have been. But he had originally told me before, when I told him I got the test and had the results, that he was going to contact her to get the results. He was gonna like send me paperwork to sign and stuff. And so I don't know what happened to that. It kind of just like blew past and nothing happened. But I didn't realize that it was like so necessary for him to have those results. Getting those results and everything in itself from my original psychologist, because it had been 2 years since I actually took the test and got diagnosed and like had even talked to her at all, that was just like extremely hard and frustrating in itself. But let's take a pause there because I'm finished filing off all the top coat and stuff. So let's put on a base coat. So I'm going to wipe all of my nail beds off with some isopropyl alcohol to clean off all of the dust and also to dehydrate them. And now I'm going to be left with just my protective hard gel base, which, if you don't know how I apply that and like why I have it and stuff, or you just want to know more about the protective hard gel base and everything and how I remove my nails with it and stuff, I talked all about that in my last upload. So if you missed that, you should go check it out. So at this point, usually I would just start doing the nails, but do have another video that I want to film like in less than a week, which is also going to require me to do both of my hands in one video. And I don't really want to have to go through all of the removal process. So I am going to attempt a peel off base coat method. So I'm going to use the Jello peel off base gel, but I'm going to use it in unison with this air dry peel off base that I have. It's like just like a water-based one that I got from Shein. And I've tried this method before on my natural nails and the nails popped off in like 2 days, which I hate. It's like one of the main reasons I don't do peel off methods is because I don't like when my nails pop off before I want them to. But I'm going to approach this a little bit differently. And the reason that I'm not just gonna go straight in with the Jello on this hard gel protective base layer is because every single time that I've tried to use Jello base in the past with a hard gel or builder gel protective layer, it has ripped off the hard gel layer with it. So I really just don't think it's meant to be used on top of like protective base layers like hard gel and builder gel. So I'm going to put a little strip of this water-based peel-off base gel first to see if it makes it come off easier. So I'm going to put a little bit of this stuff on a palette and I'm going to try to work fast so that it doesn't start drying. And I'm also going to use this tiny little brush to apply it. And I'm going to apply it just to like the center area of my nail. I don't want it to touch any of like the free edges. So I'm sure that was very hard to see, but just like that. So I'm going to do that for the rest of them because definitely if this base comes in contact with like any sort of water, it just like the nails just pop straight off. So I want to make sure that it's not touching any of like the cuticle area or sidewalls or free edge at all. I think one of like the most common questions that I get asked is why I don't use a peel off base gel so that I can save my nail sets. And first of all, it's because I just like have not found a method that works best for me, but also because I'm honestly not too much of like a sentimental person and I just do my nails so often. So like having a whole like giant pile of nails that I've done in the past when I have like actual full videos dedicated to each set on my YouTube channel and like pictures as documentation and stuff, it just seems kind of unnecessary to me. And I'm just gonna let that layer dry. And then once that seems fully dry, I'm gonna go in with the Jello peel off base gel on each of them. And I'm going to apply a generous layer of the Jello peel off base gel over the entire nail bed, including all of the free edges and everything. But yeah, to continue the story that I was telling about my doctor and stuff. So he told me to go get the results from my neuropsychologist who diagnosed me. So first of all, just getting a hold of her was an entire like fiasco in of itself. I called literally every single day for a week and left a message with her assistant who would tell me that the psychologist was dealing with emergencies and that she would get back to me, and then she wouldn't. So I would call her again. I emailed her. I even texted her because she had like a number that you could text. And for a week, nobody got back to me. So that was extremely frustrating. Eventually, I ended up actually just driving down to her office. I wasn't able to talk to her personally, but I talked to her assistant and I was like, look, I've been trying to get someone to send me my test results for a week now. You know, I'm not even like able to talk to anybody about it because I just keep getting brushed off and told that someone would call me back. So the assistant basically just like wrote down my name, my email and stuff and told me the same thing. She told me that she would talk to the doctor and tell her that I stopped by and that the doctor would be like contacting me the next day. At this point in the story, it's been a week and a half since I've just been trying to get my test results to my psychiatrist so that he can help me start like working towards the right medication for my exact diagnosis. And during this time, probably against my better judgment, I decided to completely cold turkey the medicine that he had me on because like I mentioned before, I was starting to have thoughts that you don't want to be having. And like from doing research, being a cognitive science major, I've taken like multiple neuroscience classes and I kind of have like a general understanding of how the medications that he had me on were working. And I figured that it just like I was just probably better off not taking them. So instead of slowly decreasing my dose, I decided to just completely stop taking them, which was definitely not a good idea. I'm not a doctor, but I know from previous experience that that's never good. Okay, just real quick, I've got my peel off base gel on, so now I'm going to size out these tips. And I'm going to use these like extra long stiletto tips that are so C-curved. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a nail tip with this much of a curve, but it's honestly kind of perfect for me because of like the hard gel base layer that I have on my nails. It adds that like kind of structure to my nails and makes it even more curved than it would be naturally. So I'm actually not going to leave them in this stiletto shape. I want to do some really long coffin / ballerina nails, so I'm gonna be cutting these into a coffin shape after I have them on. But for now, I'm just gonna size them all out, get them prepped, and put them on. So yeah, I completely stopped taking the medication that I was on for like a while, and because of the specific type of medication that it was, when I stopped taking it, my symptoms were like a lot worse than they are like regularly without medication even. So that kind of sent me into like a downward spiral of just feeling really atrocious every single day. Honestly, like, it's kind of just all a blur. I just remember being like extremely frustrated and like depressed every single day that like the doctors weren't responding to me. Nobody was helping me. I felt like my life was just, you know, like if you have experience with like medications and stuff, with which I know a lot of us do, sometimes when you're like changing up medication or you stop taking your medication, the effect that that chemical imbalance has on your brain just really changes your perspective on things. For me, at least, that's how I felt. So yeah, I just started getting really frustrated. My psychologist finally got back to me in an email, and after leaving messages for like a week and a half asking for my test results and or an appointment with my psychologist, she sends me an email asking me if I need my test results and if I need an appointment, and I respond to her back right away like, yes, please, yes to both, please. I've like basically begging, and then I don't get a response for another whole day, and she eventually asks me, when are you next available? And I respond to her also right away and tell her literally whenever the soonest you are available, I will be available. And then I don't hear back from her for another day. So my mom eventually saw how distraught I was, and she was just like so fed up with like seeing me so depressed because I wasn't getting like the help that I needed. So she called my psychologist because like with particular diagnoses, like with an ADHD diagnosis, it is impossible to get any sort of help from a doctor without the formal diagnosis and test results, which I've been trying to get. So it's not like I could just say, okay, you're not responding, I'll just go to a different doctor. I needed my test results to get any help whatsoever. So my mom was so frustrated, she called the doctor's office, talked to the same assistant, and was like, look, why is my daughter not able to get her test results? Like, she has been calling for 2 weeks and emailing and texting. If you do not give her her test results, we will take legal action to get those test results. So, what do you know? The doctor calls my mom back right away and tells her that she can meet with me at the end of the day. I met with her, and she told me that like my results were in a archive of some sort because I hadn't seen her for so long, so she was trying to get them out of the archive. But once my mom called her, she was able to get them out of the archive right away, and I had them the next day. So I sent my results to my regular doctor and my psychiatrist, but my psychiatrist is always like super booked, and it's really hard to get an appointment with him, and I was really frustrated on how he was like not taking me seriously with my diagnosis and stuff, and I just felt like I was not being listened to. So I honestly haven't gone back to him or talked to him in a while, which I probably should, I know, but I went to my regular general doctor and I sent her my diagnosis, and she looked at it and she was like, cool, I can help you. And that was like on a Friday. It had definitely been like 2.5 weeks since I stopped taking my other medication, and like at this point it was feeling like really like an emergency to me, even though I hadn't completely stopped being productive altogether. Like for instance, that McCart polygel video, it took me like 6 hours to film, and although I'm so glad it did not come across in the video, the entire time I was just like so stressed. And after I finished filming that video, I literally just had an exhaustion cry. I just like sat and cried for like half an hour because I felt so terrible after sitting and filming for that long. But like I made myself do it because I was also like stressed out about not uploading enough, because that's just me and my brain. But my doctor's office is closed from Friday to Monday. Okay, this was like super frustrating. She called me on Monday morning to talk to me about prescribing me a medication, and she called me from her personal phone number, so it was like a private number and I couldn't call her directly back to that number. Instead, she gave me the callback number of the office, which is closed on Mondays. But I'd been hearing things about them having like a new physician's assistant and that they were going to be open on Mondays and Fridays. I tried calling back the office hoping that they'd be open. I left a message and I waited like 4 hours and nobody called back. So I talked to the on-call doctor, which was just like an answering guy, you know, like someone who just like answers and being like, oh, okay, like who can I give your message to? But like I talked to him and he told me that the office should be open. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna drive over there then and talk to her in person, because at this point I just can't sit around anymore. I need to talk to her. So I drove over to her office to find it closed, which was great, which was nice. So yeah, that evening I was just so frustrated. I ended up like having I don't know if it would classify as like a panic attack, but I kind of had like a meltdown. And again, my mom, who was very tired of seeing me so distraught, was like, all right, we're going to urgent care because this is not okay. So she took me to urgent care and she brought my papers and everything, my test results, and was like, please, like someone help. My daughter needs help. They ended up telling us that they didn't have the right resources to help because they didn't have psychologists and psychiatrists there, and that we should go to the emergency room. At that point, it was like 8 o'clock at night, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm just gonna drink an energy drink when I get home, and I'll deal with it tomorrow. And I forgot to mention, but at this point in the story, for the past 2 weeks, I had been drinking like 600 milligrams of caffeine or more per day just to like stay sane. At this point, drinking like an energy drink with 300 milligrams of caffeine barely even made me feel any different. Okay, so I got all the tips applied, and like you saw, I really carefully tried to file where the tip meets my like nail bed, because these tips are like the thickest tips I've ever used. Not to mention, they have the gnarliest C curve I have ever seen. That is a letter C if I have ever seen one. Like, what is that? That is crazy. These tips are so curved, honestly a little bit too curved. But yeah, I also buffed the tips of all of the nails, so I'm actually going to apply a thick base coat to the entire tip and natural nail, because I didn't mention it yet, but I'm going to be using polygel to sculpt out these nails. I know. And also, I definitely want to cover this peel off base coat with a regular base coat, because there are a couple places where I sort of like nicked the peel off base coat a little bit while I was filing, and I don't want that to become a problem later on. So I'm just gonna flesh everything out with this nice thick regular base coat over everything. So yeah, the day after I went to urgent care, I found out that it actually turned out that my doctor had called in a prescription for me that day that she called me, which was the day before, the day I went to urgent care. And I didn't know, because in the message she had left me when I wasn't able to pick up the phone in time, she did not make it clear that she had actually called in my prescription for me already, which I was actually a little bit surprised about, because I wanted the opportunity to talk to her about which prescription I thought we should try, because I actually had been doing some research into which different prescriptions there were and which one I thought I might do best with. So yeah, I didn't really get a chance to talk to her about that, but I did finally get a prescription, and I've been taking it for like a week now, and I have been feeling a lot better. I know it's definitely helping, because just yesterday I forgot to take it because I went into my room to take it, and then my boyfriend called me and it left my brain. And then like around noon, I just started feeling like absolute pile of poop. And I was like, why am I feeling so terrible? Did I forget to take my medicine? So I actually counted how many pills I had, because I totally could not remember if I had taken it or not. And I had not taken it, so it's definitely helping me to feel better, so I'm really happy about that. But also, I'm gonna have regular appointments scheduled with my psychologist to work on like coping mechanisms and stuff like that. So yeah, I am on the road to recovery. So yeah, I'm finally like in a good place. I feel like things are definitely getting a lot better. There was also like just like a bunch of other stuff going on at the same time, which I will get into. Just wanted to like update you guys on that whole thing. I feel like it's something that a lot of people go through, like getting the right diagnosis and finding the right treatment and stuff, because yeah, your specific brain chemistry, if it's off, it really does affect the way that you experience life a lot. So I am very thankful that I am finally getting the help that I need. Sorry it was such a long-winded story. It is so hot in here. I feel like I'm getting really shiny. So sorry. So here's the nails. Something weird happened. So I actually ended up chopping off this pinky nail. Here it is, the original one, and redoing it because I was looking at it from the side like this and it was like pointing upward a little bit. It was like at an upward angle, which really bothered me, and I haven't had that happen since like the second time I ever did my nails. And I'm pretty sure it's just because how extreme the C curve is on these tips. It wasn't like completely straight with my nail when I cured it on there. And to be honest, I don't know if it's completely straight now. I feel like it's still a tiny bit crooked, but I'm not gonna redo it again. So we move on. Also, funny story, while I was doing that, I heard my brother be like, yo, there's a snake outside. And then I went downstairs and in like our courtyard, there was this really cute, super long, skinny like garden snake. In San Diego, we have like super gnarly rattlesnakes. Whenever you see like a cute little king snake, it's like, oh, nice. Let me tell you what my plan is for these nails. I was having such a hard time deciding what set I want to do for this video, and I decided that we're just going to stick to something pretty simple because it's really hard for me to concentrate a lot and talk about other things not relating to the nails I'm doing while I'm doing it. So here is the plan that I drew up for it, and I have this new polygel from McCart that I think will be absolutely perfect. So let's see, I really want to use polygel because I want to try this new method that some of y'all have been telling me about, but let's swatch this polygel. Yeah, this is super jelly, so it's definitely not going to turn out exactly like I had in mind, but it does have these really cute little like hollow sort of like reflections in it, so I think I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, this one is called Iris Dream. So for my slip solution, I'm just going to use some 91% isopropyl alcohol. I literally just washed out this dish, but I feel like there's little floaties in it. Whatever. The part that I'm really excited about trying with polygel is using an acrylic brush. I've said in a lot of my videos that I have a hard time with polygel because I'm so used to working with acrylic, and I really love working with acrylic. So whenever I go to do polygel, I'm always acting as if it's acrylic and then it's not, and it's just a hard time. And a lot of you suggested that I should try using an acrylic brush. That's honestly genius. Like, I've never ever seen anyone else use an acrylic brush, but I feel like that is a genius idea. So that's what we're gonna do today. Also, I got me some of these the Auto Shop paper towels, mostly for doing acrylic, but I'll use it for this too. They're nice and thick. Apparently they soak up stuff really well. Okay, let's just do this first nail together, and then I'll like talk a little bit more while I'm doing the other ones. I'm just gonna like pretend like this is monomer and not just isopropyl alcohol. And just like acrylic, I'm going to try to do it in like multiple beads of polygel. Put one on my nail bed like that, and then I'm going to pat it around. Wow, I can already tell like using an acrylic brush is such a genius move. And then before I add another bead, I'm actually going to flash cure what I have on my nail already. And I'm using the pin cure light that I bought from Sweetie Nail Supply, the Diami pin cure light, because the one that I was using before was perfect. It worked perfectly, except it died, and then I plugged it in and it would not turn on. So yeah, I might have fried that one. Hopefully that doesn't happen with this as well. And I'm just gonna add like another bead. I'm calling them beads. I don't know what you would call it if it's polygel instead of acrylic, but I'm calling it beads. And we're just gonna sculpt that out the same way. I just feel like it's so much of like a smoother, less sticky process with a acrylic brush. I don't know exactly why that is. If I had to guess, it's because the Kolinsky brushes are made to hold the monomerino. So I'm guessing that the brush itself just holds the isopropyl alcohol much better so that it doesn't get super sticky super fast. Also, the brush itself I feel like is just a much easier shape to sculpt out a nail with. Although this specific brush is from Shein and it seems to be shedding. Never something that you want to happen to your acrylic brush, but this one was only $10, so I'll let it slide. Honestly, you guys, I'm kind of blown away about how much easier this polygel application is using an acrylic brush and using this like multiple bead method. So thank you to all of you who recommended either one of those things. It never ever even crossed my mind to use an acrylic brush for polygel, but it just makes so much sense. I'm just gonna add one more bead down here and we will finish this nail up. What I love about it too is I feel like everybody's always saying like pat, don't drag. Sorry about those crows. Bro, the crows. Oh my gosh, that just reminded me of a story. It's not specifically about crows, but it's about big black birds. But let me just finish the thought I had first before I tell you about the big black bird story. Everybody is always saying pat, not drag. But I feel like with an acrylic brush, you can drag. Because like I'm dragging and I'm not having a problem. I'm having a good old time. Wow. I think this is like the first time in a ever I've actually enjoyed sculpting polygel. Just those crows need to chill out. I'm also not closing my window because it is way too stuffy in here with the window closed. Anyway, the story I was going to tell you. So Kevin, if you're new here, he is my boyfriend. He lives in an area like kind of like out by the mountains, like where there's like ranches and stuff. One day I was driving to his house and there's just like kind of like this long sort of open road on the way to his house, and I saw these 3 really big black birds in the middle of the street. And I thought that they were crows and I was expecting them to fly away as I got closer. They didn't. So I slowed down to a stop, and right in front of my car, there were just these 3 giant, what are they called? Vultures. There were these 3 giant vultures sitting in the middle of the road feasting on some animal carcass. I've never actually seen vultures in the wild like that. But then at the same time, it was kind of sad because they were eating like a roadkill animal. But yeah, anyway, hearing the crows reminded me of that story. And I'm going to wipe the sticky layer off with isopropyl alcohol so it doesn't drive me crazy. And I'm also going to wipe off the next nail to make sure there's no linties. I'm just going to use the Singular Purple Polygel for all 10 nails. It's not like me to use the same color polygel for all the nails, but today we're going for something simple. I don't want to have to think too much. I just want to kind of do it in chat. So let's do it. Other than all of that stuff with my medicine and everything, I reorganized my entire room last week. If you didn't notice already, my setup is a lot different than it has been since I started. I want to be able to have a wall behind me in my background instead of my entire room. I liked when my room was behind me, and I think you guys liked it too because it kind of felt like y'all were hanging out with me in my room while I do my nails, which is still what's happening. That's still what's going on, but it probably just feels a little bit less like that because you can't see my bedroom behind me. But the main reason why I decided I wanted to switch everything around was because the way I had it, my nail desk was up against my wall, which means all of my lights kind of had to be set up kind of behind me or to the side of me. That setup was fine, but I felt like the lighting behind me, and like the background just was not good, and like my face cam lighting was just like really hard to get right, because if I want it to look good for my face cam, it just like would not look good for my desk cam. So the way I have it now, all of my lights can be in front of my desk, and then that way my face cam looks decent, and I feel like my desk lighting is a little bit better now too, because some of you guys were telling me that it was like a little too bright and stuff before. So hopefully it's better now. Also, I just like the freedom of like doing cute stuff with my background, or at least I'm trying to do cute stuff. You probably noticed that I installed some shelves right behind me, and the main reason I installed the shelves, actually, I've said in multiple videos before, I feel like, that I want to organize my gel polishes, so that is exactly what we are going to be doing soon. I ordered, you know, those like acrylic clear, I don't know if they're acrylic or plastic, it doesn't really matter, but you know those like gel polish stands? I ordered a whole bunch of them to put on these shelves. So for now I just have all these little Sanrio plushies hanging out on there, but eventually we are going to organize all of my gel polish together. I feel like I've told you guys that that was going to be a video like before my summer vacation started, and 3 months later I'm finally getting to it. But yeah, also having my like bed in the background and stuff just got kind of annoying, because I mean, I want to say that my room is clean 24/7 and that like I'm a super neat person and everything, like I make my bed every single morning because like that's how you start a good day, but I don't. Yeah, so at least now every time I sit down to film, I don't have to worry about cleaning up my room and stuff in the background. I can just sit down and film without worrying about the entire world seeing my messy bedroom. But yeah, just like reorganizing my room in order to have this wall behind me took a whole day, and Kevin had to help me because I had to move my bed, then I had to like, it was like a whole process, man. Definitely would not have been able to do it without Kevin, because the way I roll, I'm just like, okay, like what is measuring tape? I don't know. I just have an idea in my mind, just eyeballing it. It seems like this would fit here and this will all work out. Let's just do it, and then if it doesn't work out, then we'll figure it out later. So like that's kind of like my approach to things. But like Kevin, he like came out and got the measuring tape. He was like, let me measure this. Okay, like let's see like the most optimal way to do this. Let's make sure this is gonna fit. And I was like, thank God for him, because it was definitely helpful. And I think that if he was not there, I probably would have broken my back and also had to spend like 3 days doing it. Something that did happen while we were reorganizing my room though was we were taking things off of my nail desk so that we could move it. I had all my charm organizer drawers on top of my nail desk. We were moving those so that we could move it without them all falling off. And I think my literal words were like, oh yeah, let's move those because I don't want those all falling off and everything like becoming unorganized. That like took me forever to organize those. So I pick up my like pink organizer, which had a layer of like all of my big chunky gems and stuff in it. And I went to put it on top of my shelves. And I guess I didn't realize how fast the drawers would slide out, because I went to put it on top of my shelf and the drawer with all of my rhinestones and gems flew out and fell out everywhere. Honestly, I wish I took a picture. I wish I took a picture when it happened and posted it on my Instagram story. It was tragic. And if Kevin wasn't there, I probably would have just had a meltdown, but he just started like laughing, which is something he does. It just starts like laughing whenever I do something like super clumsy, because he's just like, how in the world did you even do that? So we were just laughing about it. And yeah, now all of my gems that were in there are completely unorganized and thrown in there, and honestly I definitely cannot be bothered to reorganize them, because that organizer had like those bags of gems that have like the chunky gems and then also like the tiny rhinestones in them. So there's just like a bunch of different sizes of rhinestones and big chunky ones and different shapes, like different colors all mixed in together, and there's no way I'm going to bother reorganizing those. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get like a cute little box, and it's just gonna be like my miscellaneous treasure box, you know, my treasure box of gems. It was quite sad bad though, because I ended up having to vacuum up some of them because I like could not get them all out of my carpet. If you've ever organized like a lot of furniture in a small room, you know like how difficult it is. I still live with my parents, so I just have my bedroom, and so now my bedroom has become like my studio and my bedroom, and I also have like my PC where like I game rarely, do homework and schoolwork mostly. Honestly, this room is getting like super crowded and it's kind of stresses me out because I've just like accumulated so much nail stuff, and when you have a filming setup, you've got like big lights and everything, and it's just like a lot of stuff to fit in a bedroom when you also have a bed and like an office desk and then all of like my dresser and like my clothes and stuff. Yeah, but I'm probably gonna be here for like at least another year or so, so gotta make the best of it, which is why I really love putting up shelves and stuff in my room in order to like utilize space. If you're working with like a small room or whatever, use the space on your walls. Hang hooks for your bags and stuff, like put shelves up. Use your wall space. It just opens up a lot more room, and in my opinion, it also just makes the room look like a lot cozier and a lot more cute when there's stuff on the walls. I don't know. And oh my goodness, I've been watching these shows on Netflix. If you've never seen it, you need to go watch it because I promise you it will make you like just so happy inside. Go watch Love on the Spectrum, the US one, and the Australian one. It is so cute. I love that show so much. It's about people who are on the autism spectrum trying to find love, basically, and it's such a cute show. It's so wholesome. I already have watched it over again like 3 or 4 times. There's this other show, if you've already seen that one, I think it's like a newer one. It's called Down for Love, and it's basically the same concept, except it's just people who are living with Down syndrome, and it's also so cute and like super wholesome, and honestly it like makes me want to cry when I watch it because it is so sweet. Oh yeah, and then another reason why I wasn't uploading as frequently for a while and kind of was just like having a sucky time was all of the technical difficulties I have been having with my technology. Holy goodness. There were definitely a couple times where I felt like throwing my laptop out of my window. So I use a PC. I don't use Mac. I'm like total Android PC girl. So I use a PC to edit all of my YouTube videos, and with PCs you're able to like customize the components a lot easier. But recently my like Premiere Pro had been lagging a little bit, and I told my dad he wanted to help me upgrade my PC components so that hopefully it did not lag as much and I was able to edit my videos easier. So he upgraded my storage and my memory for me. It's not really important exactly what those are, but basically those two components are like two important parts of being able to like edit your videos smoothly. So he upgraded those for me, and then all of a sudden my laptop just, it was lagging so much. I was like, I don't even like want to get into the technical difficulties because it's just gonna frustrate me so much. Like my editing was lagging so much, like more than it was before. We could not figure out why. We spent like an entire day trying to figure it out, and eventually I was so fed up with it that like I was just like, you know what, maybe MacBooks are the way to go with editing, because I've heard a lot of great things about people editing with MacBook Pros, and I checked out some MacBook Pros and I was like, I'm not about to spend $3,000 on a MacBook Pro to get the same specs as my current laptop. So what we ended up doing instead was just giving up and factory resetting my whole computer because we didn't know what had happened in like the midst of changing out the storage and memory and stuff. And that actually worked. When we factory reset it, I was like able to edit fine. So that was really great. And then I edited that video. So I was able to edit like my Temu haul video. And then after I edited that video, I got like a pop-up on my laptop saying that there were like new drivers available for my graphics card in my laptop. So I was like, okay, cool. That's probably also going to help the editing process go smoother if I update my drivers. So I did that, and all of a sudden everything just went to again. At that point, at least I knew it was something having to do with the new NVIDIA drivers that was causing Premiere Pro to lag so badly. So I was trying to figure out like how to revert back to the old drivers. But like when I get frustrated, I kind of just get like super impatient and I just start like doing stuff without really thinking. So I kind of just like deleted any NVIDIA drivers on my laptop that were there and then like tried reinstalling them, and that didn't work. After spending another day trying to figure out how to stop my Premiere Pro from lagging, I ended up just factory resetting it again, and that solved the problem. And then it was kind of funny because after I factory reset it, like it's like a brand new computer out of the box, and I have to like reinstall Premiere Pro and everything. And when I reinstalled Premiere Pro, which if you don't know, that's the software I use to edit my videos. So when I installed it on like my fresh computer, this warning popped up. And I was like, well, thanks Adobe, that's great to know. Now my computer seems to be fine, and hopefully I'll be able to edit this video and like get it up on time and stuff. Yeah, just like if y'all have experienced technical difficulties in the past, it's just so frustrating because I felt like I just wasted so many hours and brain cells trying to figure out what was wrong. But you know what? It happens sometimes, doesn't it? It happens to all of us. I feel like it's been a really long time since I've done a video where I actually did both of my hands in one video, especially like sculpting them and not just using full cover tips, because I definitely forgot how long it was gonna take. Because honestly, I feel like I've been sitting here forever. I've actually been doing this for 7 hours. Anyway. I need to file these up now. I need to do a lot of filing, so like let's do that. Since it is taking so long, I didn't get to go to Kevin's house and see my baby kitties. They live at Kevin's house because my dad is mentally allergic to cats and forbids me to have a cat. But yeah, I've gone to his house to see the kittens every single day since we got them, except the day that I went to urgent care and today. So yeah, kind of sad. But I'm gonna try not to think about it. That's like another one of the tough things, is that since we got cats, like I really love them, but then I'm like, was it the best decision to get them right now? Because like I can't live with them, and I'm just like really sad when I can't see them, and then having to like schedule my day around making sure that I can go to Kevin's house for a couple hours to like see them and feed them and stuff. It's just kind of a lot. And then when I can't see them, or when it's like really difficult to go see them, then I'm like in a bad mood. I'm like kind of upset. What can you do? It's kind of my fault. Because like when we originally got them, I don't know if I actually told you guys the story of like when we went to adopt them. We went to the shelter with the mindset that we were just gonna go to check it out, to see what cats were available. Like we weren't even really planning on getting a cat. And originally the cat was gonna be like Kevin's mom's cat, and like Kevin's cat wasn't gonna be my cat. But then we saw Junie and Ari, and I just like fell in love with them. I love them so much, how they're like a little pair. So I couldn't resist, and we adopted them, and I love them so much. But you know, like that feeling when you like love something so much, you're like, well, is it worth it? Because it hurts. It hurts. Anyway, sorry. Happy thoughts. Also, look at this cup that I found at HomeGoods. Yeah, little ghosty cats. Isn't that the most adorable thing you've ever seen? Hi, it's the next morning. I definitely got really overwhelmed yesterday when I started filing and realized that it was gonna take an hour per hand of filing to get the nails to where I wanted them to be. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm happy with them. I just had to stop myself because I just kept nitpicking at them, filing them a lot. Basically what happened is I filed this one the most, I think, and I actually really like how it looks, how it's super skinny at the top. And then I was trying to file all of the rest of them to match that, and for some reason it just seemed to not be working, but here they are. We're going with them. So let me just put a base coat on all of them because I think that'll be a good place to start. I don't know if I'm completely happy with this color, so I have a plan to make it a little bit darker. But yeah, let's put a base coat on first. I haven't done one of these videos in so long, I feel like, so I didn't realize how long it would actually take, and especially because I had so much that I wanted to talk about. It's not like anyone's telling me I have to finish this right now, you're not allowed to stop and finish tomorrow. No one's telling me that. I make a plan in my own mind, and then when things don't go according to plan, I get super overwhelmed and frustrated. I think I definitely just need to learn to be kinder to myself and to not put so much pressure on myself. There's no one really pushing me and forcing me to do the things that are stressing me out so much. It's literally just me who's telling myself that I'm not doing enough, even though I'm pushing myself to the point of having mini panic attacks in the garage. It's literally just me who's doing that to myself. So, and doing my nails and doing nails and chill and stuff, I love doing this, and it's supposed to be fun. Even though it's a lot of work, it doesn't mean that it's not supposed to be fun. And when you push yourself to a certain point and you're just not feeling well mentally, there comes a point where even your passion and the things you love to do just become really hard work. And that's kind of the point that I'm feeling right now. So I think I just so I really just need to chill out. And also my medication, it's definitely not perfect yet. I don't know, it still needs a lot of work. But yeah, I definitely need to slow down and work on my mental health a little bit more, because I know that in order to create good content and the content that I want to create, I definitely need to be not pushing myself so hard to the point that I'm pushing myself now. It's not healthy and not sustainable. So even though I want to come on here and be okay, the doctor helped me, I'm all good now, we're getting back to 2-3 videos a week, nail videos all the time, it's just not realistic, and I just need to realize that that's okay. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I'm definitely gonna be doing at least one video a week. None of you guys tell me where are your videos, why aren't you posting? And the thing is, it's not I'm not posting, because I'm still posting. I'm literally just thinking too hard about it and being oh my god, I went from posting 3 nail videos a week to posting 1 or 2 videos, and I haven't posted an actual proper nail video in 2 weeks, and then it just stresses me out. And all of you guys are absolutely fantastic, and you don't complain or anything. You guys are literally the best, and I love you so much. So I just need to realize that the only one who's putting so much pressure on me is me, and I need to stop. I'm definitely still gonna be posting at least once a week, probably twice a week, honestly. But if I'm doing one of these videos where it's I'm sitting down and doing both hands, I definitely realize I need to give myself 2 days sculpting your nails out of polygel like this and stuff takes literally forever. Need to give myself more time to work on each video so that I'm not like so stressed out. And that might mean like posting one nail video a week and then a different video. Like I want to organize my gel polish, or I want to like, it's like a hair video or something, or organizing my charms. I'm kind of just like talking out loud about my plan. I realize I'm like rambling so much in this video, and this video is definitely going to be like an hour and a half long of me just like rambling, and I low-key hate listening to myself talk, so I'm going to hate editing this video. I just like telling you guys about my struggles because I think maybe some of y'all, I feel like a lot of people probably have the same struggle. So yeah. Just waiting here with my hand in the lamp. I've been drinking just like espresso shots with oat milk and pumpkin spice, like no sugar, and it's actually crazy because I used to put so much sugar and creamer in my coffee, but I drink so much coffee during the day it started like making me feel sick. This is actually really delicious, and I think the fact that it's in a really cute cup makes it even more yummy, especially because it smells like pumpkin spice, and then the cup is also like fall themed. Okay, before I wipe the sticky layer off and it becomes like no longer as shiny, let's just take a look at these nails. I don't think that I'm completely happy with this purple shade. I definitely want it to be a little bit darker. So let's do that. But first we're wiping off the sticky layer because y'all know how I feel about sticky things. Don't like them. Okay, so I have this really amazing like deep jelly purple color. I definitely want more of like the deep purple with these nails, but then I also still want them to be sparkly, and I'm afraid that if I put that on top of these, they're not going to be as sparkly. So what I'm actually going to do is mix in some of this rainbow cat eye gel to the jelly purple and then put that on, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, me and Kevin watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, and of course, since it's the first time he's ever seen it, I had to ask him the age-old question of whether The Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie, and he had like most perfect answer that I've never heard anyone say. He said that he would watch The Nightmare Before Christmas on Halloween to get ready for Christmas. And I was like, you know what, that's such a valid answer, because like right after Halloween is over, I'm like, okay, we're in the Christmas spirit now. So yeah, that was just like the smartest, most perfect answer I've ever heard. So thought I'd share it with you guys. And then right after we watched that, I went with my parents to HomeGoods, and y'all know that HomeGoods and like TJ Maxx and all those stores, Ross, whatever, they're all filled with Halloween and like fall themed stuff right now. So it was really fun. I had a great time. I just like really cannot wait until the weather starts getting a little cooler so I can just start wearing like my leggings and sweaters and stuff, because during the fall I just literally like live leggings and sweaters. Okay, I think that this looks really good. Let's try putting it on. I guess we'll use this flat square brush. Hopefully I mixed up enough, but I mean, like, if I didn't, it's not gonna be that hard to mix up more. That like honestly barely even changed the shade of the purple, so I'm definitely going to need to do 2 coats of that, but I do think it's really pretty. And I want to see if like we can actually get the cat eye gel to like move around, but there's honestly not a lot of it in there, so I'm not really surprised that it's not moving around. I just kind of want to use the rainbow cat eye gel because it's like super reflective and holographic and stuff. I wasn't really planning on doing any designs with it. So yeah, let's just put that on all of them, and then let's do 2 coats of it. But like, speaking of Halloween, I am loving this split dye hair, which like a lot of you guys also have told me that you really like it, and thank you so much. Y'all really just make me feel so loved, and I hope you guys know that I love you so much. Anyway, hold up, like I need to adjust myself. I need to like put my chair up a little bit. Bring you guys up a tad. Okay, that's better. Much more comfortable. But yeah, the split dye hair, kind of already told you, some of you guys like in the comments, but I really want to do like a split dye look specifically for like Halloween, and I'm kind of debating between purple and green, like a bright green or purple and orange, or even like just purple, like a bright purple and black. But I know that if I decided to do black, that it wouldn't really be like possible to go back to purple and pink. I would have to be really committed to the black, which y'all know it is really hard for me to commit to things with my appearance. I really just like can't stand looking the same for 6 months at a time, if you know what I mean. Like I either need a haircut, I need to dye my hair, I change my nails like all the time. So yeah, so I don't know if putting black in my hair is a good idea, but I definitely want to do something with either like a green or orange. And I think after Halloween, I kind of want to keep the split dye for a while and like just go back to purple and pink, because I really love the purple and pink split dye, because I like really like it more than I thought I would. It's just like so fun. But then that's kind of stressful, because that means I need to continue to bleach my roots if I want it to like look fresh and not like super grown out. But at the same time, I'm kind of debating like growing out my natural hair and then just cutting it into a pixie cut after like 6 months of it growing out. So I don't know, it's a tough decision. I mean, I could just keep the split dye with like all of my super grown out roots. Maybe that will be a vibe. Let me know what you guys think I should do with my hair. Oh my god, okay, this is super random. I got a notification that my Etsy order was delivered, and I think that my ring that I ordered, which I'm like really excited for, is in there. But I came outside and oh my god, these nails look so amazing in the sunlight. I just have to show you. They just look so much nicer in the sun than they do in my studio lights. So I just like couldn't wait to just like show you that. I just had to show you immediately. I got my ring. Look at it. It's amethyst and sterling silver. Okay, I'm sorry, this is super like off topic, but I just had to show you guys. Look at how pretty this craftsmanship is. And it was only like $50, which is crazy to me. I also ordered some other rings on there that I'm waiting for, because like the lady contacted me on Etsy and she was just like so sweet. After I ordered this one, she like contacted me and I was like, you know what? I really love your jewelry. I'm going to support I don't know, a jewelry maker? What do you call, I don't know. But anyway, this is her little like contact sheet, and I'm gonna link her Etsy shop down below because she was so nice, and she creates like the most beautiful sterling silver and like stone jewelry. So here are the nails, 2 layers on them. While I was putting them on, I realized that a couple of these have like wobbly sidewalls, even though I literally spent 2 hours filing, and I'm not even exaggerating. That's probably longer than 2 hours, to be honest. So I'm hoping that putting a thick top coat on is just like at the end is just going to fix all the imperfections. We're moving on to the nail art. Oh, also, I'm so small brained for not thinking of this, but it would have been so epic if I made this hand pink and then this hand purple, and we could have done like a cross moment with like my split dye hair, but maybe another time, I guess. So this is the inspiration that I had for this set when I originally drafted it out. I know I drafted out what I wanted these nails to look like, but I don't think I'm going to follow that. I'm just kind of gonna start doing it and see what happens. I am going to try these D-Gel X Jenny liners again, now that I know that I have to use a UV lamp to cure them. And we're gonna just use the black one, of course. Also, my hands are low-key sore and cramping from all of the filing I did, so there's that. So first things first, I'm going to mix this pot up because a lot of y'all said that I needed to mix it up and that's why it wasn't curing. I feel like I'm going to waste so much gel by mixing it like this, because I'm just gonna have like gel stuck to this now, and this stuff is expensive and there's not a lot in here, so I don't want to be wasting all of this. And I swear I had like a proper gel mixer thing, but I don't know, I guess it just despawned because I can't find it. Just gonna really try to scrape off all of this, because like look at all of that gel that's on there. That's literally probably like at least $5 of gel polish. Not even joking. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to wipe off whatever is on these tools onto this palette. We're literally just gonna use whatever is left on here. Why am I so dumb? Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like this gel is a little too thick and it's more like for doing small like character nail art and stuff. We're gonna use something else. I need something a little thinner. So I think I'm going to try these like Betsy liner gels that I have. I've never actually used them before. I'm pretty sure that there's a black one in here somewhere. Found it. Since it's a liner gel, it obviously has like that liner brush. Let me see what happens if I just try to do like a big old cross on this nail, just this liner brush. Because I mean, like the reference, I don't want the nail art to be perfect. I want it to look kind of ratchet, you know what I'm saying? A little emo. Okay, I definitely think that this liner gel is going to work. I just don't think I like that, so I'm just gonna wipe this off. I definitely do like the consistency of this one better though. I feel like it's just a lot smoother to work with. So I'm just gonna put some of that on my palette and we're just gonna try using a different liner brush. Okay, it definitely did not just take half an hour for me to do just this one cross. I don't want to start getting stressed out. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to speed through all of this nail art so that I can just get it done, because that's just what needs to happen. I know I said that I wanted to use an airbrush for a couple of those. So if I do decide that I want to use an airbrush for those ones that I was going to use an airbrush for, I will be back to do that with you. I think we just need to get rolling or this video is literally going to be 2 hours long. I'm not joking. Because I don't know how to stop talking if my face cam is rolling, so yeah. It's 2 o'clock and I realized I haven't eaten today, so I'm gonna go get something to eat and then hopefully we can finish these off and they'll look like really cute and I'll be happy with them and everything like that. My mom made vegetarian enchiladas and I ate them and I feel so much better now. So I think I decided that I'm going to skip using the airbrush for this set. I just don't really want to mess around with it. So instead, I'm just going to fill in that last nail with a couple little hearts. And I think that'll look really cute. And then that's the left hand done. And that alone took a really long time. So I'm sure I'm going to struggle doing the same with my non-dominant hand. So I'm just going to do that off camera really quick. And I will be back to top coat these bad boys. Okay, I'm actually so happy with how that turned out. It's definitely a little bit less clean and like the lines are, it just looks a little bit more messy, but honestly, that's kind of the style I was going for. So I feel like the nail art I did with my opposite hand, or like my non-dominant hand, my left hand, actually looks better than the nail art I did with my right hand. Although this swirl, I gotta say, this swirl, it looks pretty scrumptious. But the swirl is also cool. It's more of like a Tim Burton swirl, you know what I'm saying? Let's just go ahead and finish these up. I washed my hands and I used like my little scrubby brush to try to get rid of all of like the nail dust that's stuck under here from filing my nails for like 3 hours. But we're just gonna scrub all the underneath with primer so that we can put a top coat underneath, especially because these nails are like super jelly. And if you want your nails to be clear, putting a top coat underneath them definitely helps a lot. So I'm just gonna do this and then just put like a regular old glossy non-wipe top coat on. I'm just gonna use like a top coat I don't really care about to do it. But also I wanted to apologize real quick because you know how I was like getting y'all hyped up for like my Twitch account for a little bit there, and I wanted to go live and game on Twitch like at least once a week, and then I did it once and then I never did it again. I really did have the intentions of live streaming on Twitch and playing video games once a week, and I had so much fun playing Minecraft that one time with you guys, and then I told you guys I was gonna do it the next week, and then literally the day after or a couple days after that first live stream is when we ended up adopting my kittens. So, and then everything else happened that I was talking about in this video, so Twitch just didn't really happen, and I don't really know, I don't really want to force myself to try to make it happen. So gaming on Twitch is something I'd like to do in the future potentially, but like my schoolwork and YouTube stuff and like dealing with everything, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, to be honest. Because yeah, I am also in a summer class right now. It started like 3 weeks ago. So I'm in that, so that takes time and stuff. So yeah, but you know what I am doing is uploading on my Instagram story a lot more. Like pictures of like my cats and my dog and my bird and anything I feel like, basically. So if you want to stay kind of like more up to date on basically my pets and just other random stuff that I post on my Instagram story, definitely go follow me on Instagram. And finally, we are going to top coat these bad boys. I just want to use a really thick top coat to try to make everything look super smooth and even. And I know that this zombie top coat is like really nice. I mean, I've used it once, but that one time that I used it, it was pretty nice. So like while I was doing the nail art on my right hand, like with my left hand, I did that off camera, you know? While I was doing that, I was watching YouTube and I was watching Rebecca Ramsdale's like latest video that came out today, and she was doing her own nails. And it's so funny because she actually did like a super similar, if not like the exact same aesthetic as the nails that I'm doing right now. But on hers, she put like silver charms on them, and I thought it was so cute. So I was definitely debating putting some charms on these before top coating them, but I decided that I've kept y'all long enough and I've been working on these nails for so long, and I think that they're gonna be really cute just like this. So we're sticking to the original plan, but I do really think that they would have been really cute with some silver charms too. These are looking so glossy, but the last thing I'm gonna do before I can be completely done is I want to sharpen up the free edges a little bit, because these are supposed to be like a sharp coffin. Like I want these to be like really skinny, sharp coffins. I did so many layers of product. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out this little disc, and I'm just gonna quickly and lightly file all of the free edges so that they're nice and sharp. And I'm gonna do that on speed like 5, so nothing too crazy. I actually love how these turned out so much. And And oh my goodness, is this top coat literally the glossiest thing I've ever seen. Oh, I'm so glad that I love them because they took so long, but it was so worth it. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Nails and Chill. I'm of course going to show you how these look at like night with a flash on, because I can already tell these are going to be so insanely sparkly with a flash on them. If you guys made it to the end of this video, you're amazing. You're a real one. I love you so much. Anyway, cuties, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a big old thumbs up. It helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it, you guys. I love you all so much. I hope that you are having the most amazing day, night, week, life. Sleep well if you're going to sleep, cutie, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Bye. Mwah.